Happy New Year and welcome to another episode of a weekly Waypoint. Welcome to 2024. This year, there will be more weekly Waypoints and there will be more YouTube videos. I was going to go see how many YouTube videos I made this year. I was going to look at some stats, so hang on, I'm going to go pause and go do that. Last year, I made a whopping 189 edited full YouTube videos, not counting shorts. Shorts will be a whole lot more. And it's been the best year for the channel so far in terms of audience growth. We just passed 350 subscribers just before the year ended, so thank you very much for that. Once again, I'm aware I am a variety channel and it's kind of difficult to, get people to be like, hey, I'm going to subscribe to a channel that put up a gameplay of a game I like, but also it's just going to wander off and do other things for ages, and it's not always going to be video games, and it's not always going to be Doctor Who, and it's not always going to be these other things that I do. So I do very much appreciate the interest in the channel. I do this for fun, and it's all the more fun having people around for the ride, so thank you. YouTube Shorts have been a magnificent way of getting people's attention and advertising basically the channel with these short clips from longer videos, because at the beginning of last year I believe we were under 100 subscribers, so that is a massive amount of growth for a channel that's been going on for a while. And that, again, I literally have been doing in the past with like very little to no viewers, just because I enjoy making the videos and archiving my gameplay footage and that kind of thing. But obviously there's series like the Weekly Waypoint where I talk about my week, which is obviously nice to have ears on, and well, everything's nice to have eyes on. I haven't been seeing exponential growth, but I have been seeing a steady incline of subscribers, so that makes me happy. If anyone's wondering as well, it's not like my dream to become a world famous YouTuber. I think having millions of subscribers would be quite intimidating. I would be happy with somewhere like, at my like height, at like a roof, like somewhere between 2,000 3,000 subscribers, like enough to have a little community. Not saying I'm aiming for that in 2024, but Now, in terms of upcoming video game releases, because I just went back and rewatched the beginning of my 2023 weekly waypoints, and I was talking all about Starfield and Diablo 4 and Forza Motorsport and all these other smaller titles as well that I was looking forward to coming out, and there was a very clear vision of a very bright future in gaming. I'm not saying that there isn't this time round, but in 2024 there's definitely less titles that I'm hyped about releasing. That being said, I am excited for some MMO related things. World of Warcraft: The War Within comes out this year, as does Final Fantasy XIV Dawn Trail. One would assume that The Elder Scrolls Online also has another expansion coming up, but I checked their socials and they don't seem to have been hinting at anything, which is bizarre, because normally by now they are like, oh, we'll show you the new chapter announcement next year, but to be fair, I haven't really been following them, so maybe they've said it on a channel I haven't seen somewhere. Either way, one proper non-expansion to an MMO video game that I am looking forward to this year is Persona 3 Reload, because I started to play Persona 3 Portable on Game Pass last year, and I enjoyed it, but when I saw the trailer for Persona 3 Reload, I was like, I'm just going to wait for this. This looks amazing. I'm not really familiar with the Persona series at all. I did dip my toe into Persona 5 Royal, but I didn't get more than a few hours in. But it is one of the game series this year that I'm hoping to expand my horizons with. And honestly, that's more what I'm looking forward to this year than anything else, is approaching my backlog. I have created, and I've mentioned this elsewhere, but I've created a spreadsheet for my backlog, and this isn't like making it into a chore. I really enjoy making spreadsheets of things and organizing things, and actually it was really fun to make and see all the video games that I have yet to really play. And I think because I've been doing that, because I'm in that mindset, I'm still very much, less looking towards the future of games and more looking towards the past and the things that I have yet to play. So this year I would really like to make some strides into like playing some games which have already been released, like playing some games in my backlog. I played a lot of Yakuza Like a Dragon this year. I didn't quite get around to finishing it, sadly, because there were some major pacing issues in Chapter 12. But I would like to play through the Yakuza series, so long as it stays on Game Pass. I don't know if that's going to happen, because the series producer made some weird comments about using it as like a business card, and that the new Like a Dragon game isn't going to be on Game Pass, which is kind of a bummer. I read that on Pure Xbox, if you're wondering what the source on that is, although they were reporting on an interview that he had with Automaton. Anyway, another, well, not necessarily series, but more like developer whose games I want to get into this year is Larian. Obviously last year they had an amazing year with Baldur's Gate 3, which won all the Game of the Year awards, as it should have, but I bounced off it after about 8 hours. But something about it, something about the taste it left in my mouth did leave me hungry, and I remembered I owned Divinity Original Sin 1, which, by the way, is a game that not many people talk about, but is very much overshadowed by its younger sibling, Divinity Original Sin 2. But basically, I spun up very recently a new single-player save file on Divinity Original Sin 1, and I'm having a really good time with it, and I think it's a really good game in its own right, and hopefully you will be seeing some Adventures in Rivellon videos showing up here fairly soon. You can also expect some Dimension Jam co-op content on that game as well. Me and Reese have been playing a co-op save file on that, as we said we would so long ago for that channel, so keep an eye on the Dimension Jam YouTube channel where we'll be playing some more of that over there too. The idea is I play it single player over here on my main channel as kind of like a story playthrough, and then Dimension Jam co-op for like the silly shenanigans that we get up to. I do feel like Divinity and probably Baldur's Gate as well are very much two different games in that way. You have the single player game and you have the multiplayer game. Anyway, for anyone wondering, I also picked up Divinity Original Sin 2 while it was on sale for £7, I think it was, and I just saw that, I was like, yeah, I should grab that for the future. So after I finish Divinity Original Sin 1, I will start Divinity Original Sin 2. After I finish Divinity Original Sin 2, I will continue in Baldur's Gate 3. I'm not someone who can play games in a linear fashion, so this will probably be a multi-year project, but that is my plan. If you are curious to see what my backlog spreadsheet looks like, I will have a link to it in the description. It is also part of a spreadsheet which contains alternate sheets for books that I need to read, and will soon contain alternate sheets for like movies and shows and stuff as well. Oh, I should mention as well, another series I really want to get into this year is Fire Emblem. I played some Fire Emblem Awakening recently, and I was tempted to pick up Fire Emblem Three Houses or Fire Emblem Engage, but neither of those were on sale because Nintendo hate their consumers and don't want to put any of their titles on sale. No, I'm sorry, I'm joking. I mentioned being disappointed with the Switch sales and in a Discord community, and people were like, oh, I thought their sales were really good, so maybe it's just because I'm not in that ecosystem right now, or all the games I want to play in that ecosystem are games which happen to not be on sale. But I was pretty disappointed with the Nintendo sale compared to the others. Speaking of, oh, I haven't talked about this yet. Speaking of sales and game purchases on sale and spending money and regretting it, I have some bad news for Guild Wars 2 fans. I am having some major technical difficulties with that game, which seemingly affect a very small random handful of players, seemingly have always been in the game, seemingly have never been fixed and have no fixes. And when trying to gain refunds after buying all the Living World seasons and all the expansions up to End of Dragons because they were on sale and I was excited to continue playing through this game, I got hit with a big no from both Steam and ArenaNet, who I had to ask separately for the different kinds of DLC to be refunded. Steam thinks that I've been playing End of Dragons because the game time is tied to the base game, and both times when I've tried to get a refund for it and said, hey, look, this is what's happening, I've just got an automated no. And I've been looking up ways to just contact a human being at Steam. Doesn't seem like there is one. Seems like I'm pretty fucked on that front. And when it comes to ArenaNet, where because the Living World seasons, while also being like story DLC, you have to buy them from the gem store. So you have to contact ArenaNet themselves about any potential refunds. That's what Steam told me. ArenaNet said they literally have no way of altering what my account has access to after I've bought it or refunding gems. So I spent about £60 that I can't actually get a return investment on in terms of story enjoyment. So I'm pretty annoyed about that. If anyone's wondering what the glitch is, I was going to put together because I have enough for Adventures Interior Volume 3, that will come out one day. But basically the glitch is at the end of personal story instance missions, usually on the final cutscene after like half an hour of gameplay, after I come out of a cutscene, my character will freeze. There will just be the cinematic icon above their head. They will freeze in place for 5 seconds. I won't be able to do anything, and then they will disconnect from the server. It's not a Wi-Fi issue. it's a bug with the game, and when I log back in, I have to redo the entire personal story instance. I have tried so many solutions. I thought I fixed it by reinstalling the game, but that did not fix it. I'm not going to go through all of the solutions, but also I've been talking to customer support who have been like, we can't refund you, so let's fix the issue. I'm like, you're not going to be able to fix the issue. There's 10 years of forum posts, people saying you haven't fixed the issue. But sure, we'll do that. And yeah, I sent them everything I did, and they kind of seem stumped. They do want me to download an extra diagnostic tool and play the game for half an hour, but I'm so burnt out on it right now that I'm kind of just hoping they'll give me like a week and not just automatically close my ticket for not responding, but I'm sure that'll happen. But yeah, it is a major bummer. I was up to the final mission in the personal story, and yeah, I could probably just keep rolling through it over and over and over again until I finally get lucky and I'm able to continue it, but that's not a good gameplay experience. That's going to make me hate the game, and that's going to continue to be a problem throughout the entirety of the game. So you know, I haven't fully given up on it. I've like 95% given up on it. There is a slim chance that maybe next week you'll hear me talk about, oh, I fixed it, everything's fine now. But honestly, I've kind of just bounced off Guild Wars 2 and started up Final Fantasy 14 again instead. I know there were some people who subscribed to this channel excited to see what my impressions on Guild Wars 2 would be going through it, so I'm sorry to disappoint you. I hope you enjoy the other things I make, but I understand if you don't want to hang around, because there's probably not going to be too much more Guild Wars content. But yeah, it's a massive bummer, and I wish I could continue playing your game, but I can't. Nor could I get a refund and spend my holiday money somewhere else. Hey. Apart from Divinity. I was like, Divinity's cheap enough, I can pick that up and say I got something. Anyway, not to be a downer, I did mention that I have been playing some more Final Fantasy 14, so let's talk about that. I recently resubscribed to the game, re-downloaded it, and I have 2 story patches to play through, which is exciting stuff. And I have started playing through 6.5, obviously no spoilers, but I've got to the dungeon. Usually each patch has a new dungeon and a new trial. Play through the dungeon, enjoyed that. You'll see that in Adventures in Eorzea Volume 50. Good lord, we're up to 50 now. Obviously you may have seen the Volume 49 video I put out, which was an hour and 10 minutes long. Good lord, I basically wanted to try and make a video out of all the clips I had before I reinstalled the game, just so that I didn't feel like this burden of future video editing on my shoulders as I was trying to play through new stuff and record new stuff for the game. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with how that video ultimately turned out. It is a mess in terms of spoiler warnings, but they are there. But yeah, it's been lovely getting back into Final Fantasy 14 and reconnecting with my free company, and you know, I haven't actually been playing through the MSQ all that much. I've been doing the Heaven's Turn event, I did the Starlight event just before it ended, I've been hanging out at the FC house, I've been leveling my Red Mage job, I've just been chilling. Honestly, that is kind of what I want to do in Final Fantasy 14 right now. Obviously I want to do MSQ, but I don't want to, like, you know, put my nose to the grindstone and do a project of getting a level up to max or whatever. I just kind of want to chill and do what I want to do. I've also been leveling Shrimp No Crust a little bit, who's one of my alts who doesn't focus on the story but just kind of like skips everything in an attempt to get through to a high level. I've also been leveling Zariah Zephyr, who is my MSQ replay, and she's not really I'm not really like replaying the story and making content around replaying the story. I'm just kind of chilling and rereading it and rewatching it on my own time. I mean, I do all of this on my own time anyway. But yeah, I've just been having fun getting back into that game. One last thing, last night with Dimension Jam again, we streamed some Fortnite as the new year came in, as 2023 became 2024, and I think it was a really fun short little stream. It went on for about, well, it technically went on for about an hour, but with a big Be Right Back screen at the end for a while, so it's more like 40 minutes. So if you want to see me, Reese and Molly play a few matches of Fortnite to ring in the new year, that's available to you, and hopefully we can do more streaming content over there. Again, my PC is kind of weird with streaming content, and I still don't know if it's a connection thing or a weird, you know, graphics card issue or whatever, but I get some weird blocky artifacting sometimes, but that didn't seem to happen on that one, so I have literally no idea what causes it. But it was a fun time. youtube.com/@DimensionJam. That about does it for this video. It's always weird saying that, and you can see that gameplay is still going on for a decent amount of time. But I like to start my wrap-ups early, okay? I just want to say to all my viewers, I hope you all have a fantastic 2024. I hope it brings you prosperity and domination against your enemies, or whatever. There will be much more content coming your way on this channel over the year, and hopefully some of it is even to your tastes. I know January and February and even March can be kind of like the blech months of the year. I very much feel that, but hopefully I can distract you from some of those blech months. Like, you know, Winter's blech in general, but at least in December we got Christmas coming up. But wrap up warm, play some nice video games, get stuck in a cozy new series, binge it or whatever. Winter doesn't have to be blech. Winter can be blech. The opposite of blech. Let me know what games you're looking forward to this year in the comments down below if you like. You don't have to. As I have mentioned before, I'm not your dad. If you like the video, feel free to like it. It gives me the tinglies, and I will see you next week. I should stop saying that it gives me the tinglies. That probably discourages people from pressing the button.